Hello, maximum points parters, Blues family. Yeah, I know it's been 4 days since Chelsea's very deserving victory over PSG at the Club World Cup finals. However, the joy is still very fresh. Tell me a team whose victory still lingers 4 days after a match was played, and I would raise you Chelsea unapologetically. Yes, that is what the Blues do. We celebrate victories we literally won a trophy, didn't we? Anyways, I know this video is coming late, but then the joy is still very fresh. Our boys did it again. Yes, we dominated the football world, and it's so beautiful to see. We raised a prestigious trophy. Chelsea are officially FIFA Club World Cup champions, and that deserves a moment of glory. It deserves a year of glory. However, in our case, it's 4 years of glory. Anyways, you know that this isn't just about one win. It's about a legacy. It's a tradition. It's a pattern. Chelsea always conquers, the so-called big dogs, the big teams, and we turn finals into coronations. Let's take a walk down memory lane. Let's start from the 2012 UEFA Champions League finals. Let's talk 2012. When Chelsea, we went against Bayern Munich. Bayern came in as favorites. They were definitely favorites in that particular competition. They played at the Allianz Arena. Yeah, that's their home turf. So, they dominated possession. They rocked up about 35 shots. They were really good. They thought it was theirs by default. By the way they played, they definitely must have thought, oh, we've already won the match and all of that. But what did Chelsea do? Chelsea was patient. Our players were patient, disciplined, and ruthless when they needed to be. But then Bayern failed to kill their game early. Even though Thomas Muller had scored a leading goal at the 83rd minute, right? Leading us at that moment. It's almost the end of the game at this point. So tensions were high and everything. But Didier Drogba in the 88th minute scored a header from Mata's corner. So this put both of us, both teams on equal scores. Again, a clumsy challenge from Drogba, right? Landed us or cost us a penalty. Because we had to give that to them. They had, yet again, an opportunity to win the game, clinch the cup. But then, Chelsea had their wall. I'm talking keeper check here. So he blocked the penalty from Robben, and we went into penalty shootout. And that was where Chelsea flipped the script and yet again clinched another cup. Clinching one of the most prestigious cups, the UEFA Champions League Cup, after playing a team like Bayern Munich. And then moving on to the next season, 2013, where Chelsea played the UEFA Europa League finals, right? This was against Benfica this time. In that season, Benfica had flair, they had form, they had momentum, but they had one problem. They couldn't finish. They wasted their chances, they left gaps, and Chelsea soaked in this pressure, and we waited, and then we struck. In that particular game, right, Fernando Torres had already opened the scoreline, scoring 1-0 from a long ball that Czech had already passed, exposing Benfica's high line. Then that already puts us on, the leading spree. Even after Cardozo equalized, Benfica still didn't stop. They kept pushing forward. But then, in the final seconds of the match, boom, Ivanovic scored a looping header to win 2-1. Yet again, trophy secured. Chelsea back-to-back European silverware. Now let's talk the 2019 All-English final. I'm talking the Europa League final against Arsenal. You know that Arsenal were already dreaming of clinching their first European title in ages. They started really decently. But then there was this twist. They underestimated Chelsea's hunger. In the second half, it was a massacre. I mean, it started from Giroud opening against his former team. Pedro added another one. Hazard ran riot. The midfield collapsed. Their defense panicked. We ended that night winning Arsenal 4-0. And yet again, clinching another European final cup, right? Against a big team like Arsenal. Tell me about bragging rights, because Chelsea has every. Now, fast forward to 2021. I'm talking the Champions League final against Man City, right? I feel like Pep Guardiola overthinks, because I don't know what happened in that particular match. There was no defensive midfielder. There was no Fernandinho. There was no Rodri. There was no protection for his back four. He wanted to play beautiful sport or beautiful football. Chelsea just wanted to play smart football, and that was what we did. I mean, Kante bust the midfield. That guy still... his gameplay still intrigues me till tomorrow. Yeah, so he bust the midfield, right? City's passing lanes were cut, and then precision. He was very precise. His passes were very, very accurate, and they were carefully thought. And then there was Mount's throw ball. Havertz timed his run. He rounded Ederson. Boom, a goal. City had no plan B, to be very honest. Chelsea had no fear whatsoever. We moved on after scoring that 1-0 winning goal. And then, yet again, another night of victory for the Blues. Are you following the pattern? Are you following how Chelsea have been able to conquer very big teams over the years, clinching very prestigious trophies? I hope you're following the pattern anyways, because we are not even done. I'm still moving on to the 2022 UEFA Super Cup finals against Villarreal. I mean, in that matchup, they claimed that Villarreal were the underdogs. They dragged Chelsea to penalties, but this time we had Kepa. I mean, Tuchel made a very daring sub. A very, very daring sub, because I didn't know. I mean, when I saw him sub off Mendy, in my head I was just wondering, is this really a good idea? I didn't know what to expect. But then, Kepa showed me class that night, because he saved 2 penalties. And then we went on to yet again lift the Super Cup. Villarreal's moment denied. Chelsea, another silverware. And then moving on, we still had the 2022 FIFA Club World Cup finals against Palmeiras. Right, that particular one, it was very personal, because Chelsea had never won the Club World Cup. So this particular finals was very personal. Chelsea came prepared. They came with intent. Lukaku rose highest to head us into the lead. He scored the leading goal. And then Palmeiras equalized, right? They equalized through a VAR awarded penalty. However, it went into extra time. Nerves were high. The pressure was much. But then the moment came as Liqueta picked up the ball, passed it to Havertz, and boom, ice cold. Another goal, the winning goal for Chelsea. Yet again, another championship. There you have it. Is that really the end? Hell no. Now let's talk the most recent and the most exciting, the victory that still lingers till today, even after 4 whole days of winning. I'm talking the FIFA Club World Cup finals against Paris Saint-Germain, PSG. A team with flair, a team with form, a team with momentum. But now let's break it down to see how Chelsea dissected everything about that team and led us to being world champions once again. Now let's talk tactical setup and the pressing strategy of the Chelsea Football Club. I mean, under Enzo Maresca, Chelsea has executed high intensity man-to-man press. They had done that from the start, from the kickoff. We saw Reece James, we saw Moses Caicedo and Enzo Fernandez aggressively cut off PSG's build-up. They did that so well. They forced long clearances, because, you know, there's a way a player or a team would so clear up your space, break your build-up enough to be able to navigate through. And that's what Chelsea did. I don't know what Maresca told his boys, but it definitely worked for them. And then we saw Levi Colwill track Usman Dembele tightly. We saw Neto shadowing Hakimi. We saw Kukureya staying close to Due. They suffocated PSG. That's literally it. They suffocated them so bad that PSG's fluid midfield and wing play was totally strangled. If I can say that. Yeah, and within 10 minutes, PSG failed to compose a single meaningful build-up. They failed to do that because Chelsea had so dominated the play that they were unable to make very accurate passes or even defend properly. Now moving on, Chelsea detected the early tempo. They exploited the left flank and the space where, these are spaces where Malo Gusto and Palmer really thrived, right? I hope you guys watched this match so that you're following through this breakdown. And then let's talk goal one. The first goal from Palmer at the 22nd minute. A mistake by PSG's left back Nuno Mendes gave possession to Gusto. He passed the ball to Palmer and heck, Palmer was unmarked, led us to our leading goal. Now, Palmer slotted that goal into the left corner of the post, a clinical start, punishing PSG's high line. Goal number 2, 30th minute. Who again? Yet again, Cole Palmer. Ice cold Palmer. That was what he did. Now, at this point, scoring the second goal, Palmer simply intercepted, or Chelsea intercepted the midfield very well. It was very seamless. It was very tactical. They intercepted the midfield. Caicedo recovered the loose ball, played it to Colwill. Colwill rode a perfect pass to Palmer again. Palmer yet again unmarked in the same spot as the first goal. Then, boom, second goal was scored. Now let's talk the third goal. We already had our man of the match give us 2 goals for the finals, right? He decided to pass the ball to João Pedro, one of our newest signings from Brighton, tactical forward João Pedro. And yeah, ball in the net, a sweet finish, landed Chelsea with what ended as our winning goal. And all of this before the first half was over. Now let's talk defensive executions and the second half holding game. In that finals, right, it was largely, possession was 67% for PSG. But Chelsea limited all their passes, accurate passes. I would not fail to say that. Very accurate passes to speculative long shots and very good crosses. So it wasn't just possession. It was meaningful and wonderfully curated possession for Chelsea, aside the 67% possession in PSG's favor. Now, we also saw Robert Sanchez make some very clean saves, some very powerful saves that, at the end of the day, it would have cost us a lot if he didn't. I'm talking one-on-one with Dembele once. And then Due, he cleared Due's ball twice. And then he also blocked Vitinha's attempt at a goal. Very beautiful saves. I was really proud of him. I would keep saying it. I was really scared at the beginning of that match. I was really, really scared for Sanchez. But then he showed me class. He showed us class. He did his thing. And yeah, beautiful saves from Sanchez, which really helped the team's overall performance in the finals. And then Chelsea moved into controlled drops. We maintained shape. We maintained form. We maintained the momentum. We invited PSG forward quick enough to break and neutralize any threats whatsoever that may have been. I would never make this video without mentioning Moses Caicedo. That guy is a midfield powerhouse. Indeed, he is. Now, he won all 3 tackles attempted, right? He constantly harried PSG. He won the back possession regularly. He did it so effortlessly, right? I don't know what Maresca's midfield strategy was, but whatever it is that he played that night, it thwarted PSG's rhythm. It destroyed their defense. He destroyed their midfield. He prevented possession and progression through the middle. He formed a compact and reactive buffer zone around Chelsea's backline. He did that with whatever his strategy was, and it totally worked for Chelsea Football Club at the finals. I mean, unfortunately, there was a red card for João Neves. He was sent off via VAR. After checking, he had pulled on Cucurella's hair. So, yeah, that cost him a second, or that gave him a second yellow. Obviously, he had to go off the game. The tensions were boiled at full time. If you had watched, yeah, the tensions were really high, and there was a little scuffle at the end of the match. However, Chelsea had already clinched the game. We had already clinched the cup. It was already end time, the last whistle. In summary, on the 13th day of July 2025 at the MetLife Stadium, New Jersey, with about 81,118 attendees, including the President of the United States, Donald Trump, Chelsea won 3-0 against PSG, with Cole Palmer finishing as the man of the match, and Sanchez clinching the Golden Glove for the entire tournament. So yeah, the collection of the trophy was a really high-profile moment. I mean, Trump delivered the trophy himself. At the end of the day, I think the White House even posted, or they made a post about Chelsea's victory. Has the White House ever posted your club, or, posted anything about your club? If they have, please let me know. However, yeah, that was just on a light note, on a really light note, because yeah, the White House did that because the president was in attendance. He even joined in our celebration. It was confetti. He was raising the newest, it's the first of its kind, the FIFA Club World Cup, and yeah, celebration all round. Another silverware added to our cabinet. And also Chelsea. Did I mention the official gold FIFA champions badge that Chelsea gets entitled to wear the entire season as champions of the world? It's a symbol of global dominance. It's so nice to say that. Let me say it again. It's a symbol of global dominance. It was so nice. It came off so effortless on my tongue. So yeah, this title simply confirms that Chelsea is the best club in the world, or on the planet. If you don't agree with it, I'm very sorry, but you're gonna be hearing this for the next 4 years. Now I'm not mincing words, because literally Chelsea gets to handle this trophy for the next 4 years. So up until 2029, we're gonna be calling ourselves the champions of the planet. And it's gonna be a very long ride for you guys. However, that's it for Chelsea Football Club, our history, and the present. And until I bring you more football talks again, I am Beauty Raymond, and this is Maximum Point Sport. Now, don't forget to like the video, comment, share, and subscribe to our Maximum Point Sports YouTube channel. Don't forget to do that. See you again in my next video, or in our next video. Bye.